Hey, fourth graders, Mrs. Oliver here. I'm going to go over some comprehension that goes with your story this week. We are on Unit 3, Week 2. The story is called Remembering Hurricane Katrina, and you can find it in your floppy book on pages 158 through 161. A short summary of the story is we are introduced to our main character. His name is Hector. And Hector begins the story kind of driving through a big rainstorm. And he has a flashback where he thinks back to when he was 9 years old. During that time, there was a very terrible hurricane called Hurricane Katrina. And him and his classmates kind of rallied together to do donations to toys for kids that were without them and families that were struggling because they lost everything during the hurricane. The end of the story, his cell phone buzzes and he kind of gets snapped back to present time again, and he is on his way to bring donations to a new area that has been hit by a hurricane. So we kind of get to see that Hector has continued his donating from being a child all the way up into adulthood. This is realistic fiction. That genre means that this story isn't factual, it's not real, but it could be. So there really could be a child that helped donate, that grows to be an older man, and donates as well to people that are suffering from natural disasters. All of that is possible. Our comprehension strategy this week is visualizing, and that's when you try to make a mental picture of what you're reading. So at the beginning of the text on page 181, when he is talking about the raindrops were soon scattered, torrential downpour began beating against my windshield as lightning flickered the sky. I had to pull off the road until my driving visibility improved. So all of that is making me think that this is not just a little trickle of rain. It is a strong rain. I'm imagining some wind, probably some loud thunder and lightning. This is a difficult storm to be in. He has to actually pull over because it's not safe to drive. All of those clues in what I read helps my imagination figure out what this setting looks like. The comprehension skill is point of view. Point of view means what the author thinks. Well, in this case, our narrator is Hector, and he's talking about his own experiences. So he talks about remembering the hurricane victims, shuffling with faces full of sadness. He also remembers noticing a little boy hugging a teddy bear and realized he had to do something. So this is when he was a child, realizing he wanted to help, just wasn't sure how to yet. So his point of view is, if you can help others who have lost their possessions, you should do so. So his point of view is that it's an important job to help people when they need help during a natural disaster. And he kind of puts his money where his mouth is, and he is a person who does help, and he helps as a child into adulthood as well. We know that Hector thinks that helping these people is valuable because of the language he uses, and he also uses examples like the two details I listed to show that the people really don't have anyone else to help them at the moment because their whole community has been damaged by the hurricane. So somebody on the outside looking in has to step in and help the community. I hope this helped you understand your story a little bit better, and I'll see you next week.